Hello, this is Frank Marrone, the train man again from Gettysburg Trains. And this morning I'd like to do a video in response to some emails that I've gotten on my website, www.gettysburgtrains.com, in reference to the Allegheny steam engine, which few of you have seen and has been quite popular. People have asked me some questions in email about the engine, its cost, all of its different features it has. I only had one comment or so far on it. The video is pretty new, but it is a pretty awesome engine. As far as I know, it is the largest model steam engine that Lionel has ever made. It was put out in 2005 catalog as part of the Joshua Lionel series. It's a pretty impressive engine. It's huge. The engine and tender itself measure about 36 inches. It's completely made cast, so it's very, very heavy. It's in the 2666 wheel configuration, and it has almost any feature that you can imagine. It's got Train Sounds 5.0, all your crew dialogues, your authentic 4 chuffs per revolution, squealing brakes, hot plate underneath the boiler that glows red, lights galore outside. All the different pieces of handrail are applied separately on the engine, and actually they're seconded as the antenna. This is the Train Master cab remote control, which controls the engine. The power on the transformer stays on all the time, and I can control the engine and all of its features right here from the cab remote, which is a really cool remote. It's put out by Lionel. It retails about $135, but this controls the engine, and it uses RC, so it has an antenna, and the antenna on the engine cleverly was the pipe railing on the engine. That's why if you look real close at the railing on the engine, it's insulated, because that's actually the antenna for the engine. The tender, about 7-8 pounds. It has real coal inside the tender that's hand placed on the tender before being solidified there, glued in. So that's pretty awesome too. And of course it is the 1948 model H8 class steam engine that was built by Lima Locomotive Works. It was probably the most powerful steam engine ever made. It would take a full crew, about 24 hours to get it ready and fire it up. It was capable of carrying millions of pounds of coal from the mining fields in Virginia, over Allegheny mountain range, West Virginia, right into Ohio. So it was a very, very powerful engine. Sometimes they couple 2 or 3 of these engines together and drag several hundred cars of coal from 2 to 3 states over a pretty impressive mountain range. If you've ever been in the West Virginia area and crossed the Allegheny Mountains by car, you can see how impressive it must be. And that's with our modern roads. Back then, a train traveled up a mountain. It wasn't just straight over a mountain. It usually curved around a bend or through a pass of some sort, try to make its travels easier. But it was quite impressive if you think of the time period. What I want to do now is I want to go ahead and fire the engine up. So if you'll just excuse the video camera, you'll see some movement on here as I go ahead and focus in on the engine and fire it up for you. So enjoy this video, and I do thank you again for watching YouTube, Gettysburg Trains. Feel free to post any comments, questions, or you can send me an email at gettysburgtrains@aol.com or visit the website www.gettysburgtrains.com. Thank you. Alrighty. Right there is the Allegheny, and again, it's quite the impressive and large steam engine. Right now it is not powered at all other than by the track. So if you look closely at it, you will notice that the cab is lit up with the crew sitting in it. Now, on the cab remote, which I showed you earlier, there's a button up here that says engine, and down here auxiliary, and I've actually been able to program this engine as my engine number 7, because you can control many engines with the cab remote. Anytime I am ready to run this engine, I'll go ahead and press engine, 7, and auxiliary. And as you can see, it's starting to fire up. You'll notice the steam going off. And again, it took a crew 24 hours to get this engine powered up and ready to roll over the mountain range. So I don't have that long to stand here, but we'll go ahead and get the basics fired up and get it running for you. Now from this point, with the cab remote again, you can see the red dial on there, and turning that to the left or right increases or decreases the speed. But you know, I probably want to bring some effects into the engine when I run it, so I'll go ahead and blow the horn a little bit. Yeah, maybe let off a little bit of steam. And maybe get the crew talking since they're ready to depart.
Speaking of aisle 1650, requesting track orders. Over. 1650, take the green. Over. We copy dispatch. 1650 is good to go. Over.
Now that the train has got their orders to depart, I'm going to go ahead and turn it on very slowly.
Speaking of aisle 1650 here. We're on our way and are making a good time. We're eyeballing. Over. I copy that. Out.
And with any good train video, what you'll want to do is you'll want to start the engine off slow, because you wouldn't take off at full speed. So you get that engine off real slow. You can still see the 4 chugs per revolution on the engine, and you got a real sweet looking ride here. I think the backdrop with the mountains really gives it that Allegheny mountain feel. And as I zoom back out, you'll notice the full 36 inches of the engine and tender. Go ahead and give it a little whistle again. Some bell. We'll increase the speed a little bit here, because now, pulling all that power, it's actually got the speed up a little bit. And I'll zoom back out and let you guys know about the quite impressive train load I've got on the engines. Increase the speed a little bit. As you can see, it's been running there for at least a minute and a half, and I'm still got some freight on there coming near the end.